Royal Roads University Chancellor's Community Recognition Award was created in 1998 to recognize the efforts of individuals and organizations whose actions or service has made an outstanding contribution to their community and to humanity. In addition to the award they will receive, the recipient's name is inscribed on a plaque which is kept on display at Royal Roads University. It is my great pleasure now to introduce the recipient of this year's Chancellor's Community Recognition Award. Mr. Gordon Denford, please come forward. Gordon Denford's business acumen is firmly rooted in community. His vision to build retirement communities that serve residents' social and medical needs has benefited thousands of seniors. As founder and owner of Berwick Retirement Communities, Gordon has overseen 5 developments for seniors on Vancouver Island and another in Kamloops. The residences include amenities such as community centers and medical facilities. For Gordon, it is important that seniors feel connected to and not isolated from their communities. And his award-winning developments reflect this commitment. While his work on seniors' residences is the most rewarding part of his career, Gordon is also a prolific developer and respected entrepreneur. He founded and still helps his son Christopher run Denford Construction Management, one of the only companies in Canada that completes building projects from the ground up. Headquartered in Victoria, Denford Construction employs more than 520 people, from heavy equipment operators to interior designers. The company has been involved in more than 50 projects, including one of BC's first strata developments, Summergate Village in Sydney. It was the very first strata development that I visited in my young career as a builder as well as a realtor. It's a premier development, and it set the pace. Notably, when interest rates skyrocketed in the early 1980s, Gordon partnered with local business leaders to form the Western Pacific Bank. The move gave Victoria developers access to capital at a time when the large banks were reducing lending activity, and the center of the world was Toronto. The bank later, and still is, the bank later merged with the Bank of Alberta, and the Canadian Western Bank was formed to look after Western regional interests, and it's a very significant bank to this day and growing. What makes Gordon all the more remarkable is his history. In 1940, at the age of 13, Gordon was evacuated to Canada during the bombing of Bristol. Separated from his parents, he stayed at 2 foster homes in Winnipeg before living on his own, graduating from high school before he turned 16. He decided not to return to England, choosing instead to study science at university. After realizing his skills were better suited to business, Gordon put his energy and determination to the construction industry. He worked his way up from salesman to business owner to the developer he is today. Beyond his professional commitments, Gordon has loyally served his community since moving to Victoria 40 years ago. He held an 8-year term with the Victoria Airport Authority, including 2 years as chair when the airport was being rebuilt. In 1999, he was appointed by the provincial government to serve on the BC Medical Services Commission, representing the beneficiaries of the Medical Services Plan. He has sat on planning advisory committees for the District of Saanich and the City of Victoria, was president of Tourism Victoria, and served on Royal Roads Board of Governors. He's one of us. He has also established bursaries and scholarships to support people training to be caregivers. I've known Gordon for a long time, and I can tell you that he's a classic Royal Roads guy. Everything with Gordon is quality. Everything is fairness. He doesn't go, there's no half measures. Everything is done properly, and the way that he treats people and his staff treat people at the Berwick seniors' homes is second to none. He set the bar really, really high, and I'm so happy to be in his presence. For his commitment and vision, and for his service to this community, Royal Roads University is proud to present Gordon Denford with the Chancellor's Community Recognition Award.
Kind of a hard act to follow, but anyway, I'll try. So Chancellor Strandland and President Cahoon, faculty, guests, and graduates. It's a great honor to receive the Chancellor's Community Recognition Award today and to have the opportunity to address you, the 2014 graduates of the Faculty of Management. I must confess to having a little difficulty in determining where I should begin, since the subject of my remarks should be about my community activities and how they were influenced and became intertwined with my various business interests. So I'm going to begin with the first 13 years of my life. I was the only child of a working class couple in Bristol, England, living in working class neighborhoods. My fondest recollection is of the frequent street parties in the 1930s, celebrating every possible event from Christmas, Easter, and Saints' Days to royal jubilees, abdications, and coronations. They brought the families together, resulting in the bonding of neighbors, which in turn united the people and communities of Britain on a local level to defiantly endure the bombing of their cities and the threat of invasion, which began in June 1940. In August 1940, I was evacuated to Canada and spent the next 12 years in Winnipeg, where the climate was unbelievable and the culture completely foreign to me. I was a well-educated student who at the age of 10 had won a scholarship to an outstanding boys' school in Bristol, Cottam Secondary, which I loved. I graduated from high school in Winnipeg in 1943, 1 month before my 16th birthday, after 2.5 years in classes with boys and girls, all of whom were 2 years older than me. Understandably, it was very difficult for me to become part of their community. That fall, I was fortunate to be accepted in residence at United College, which was affiliated with the University of Manitoba and has since become the University of Winnipeg. At United College, I joined a community of young men and women who lived together, separate residences in those days, met for meals in common dining rooms, organized entertainment, shared stories and experiences, supported each other, and established friendships that in many cases lasted a lifetime. As you are aware, we were different from the day students who went home to a family each day. We became a community within a greater community, an experience that I've never forgotten. In 1947, lack of financial resources obliged me to leave university in my 4th year and seek employment. After 2 false starts with 2 large corporations, I found a job I really liked in 1949. The Furnaceman Companies in Winnipeg had been founded before the war by a charismatic entrepreneur named Charlie Hellier, who had designed and was manufacturing a line of efficient coal stokers and furnaces for the home and commercial heating markets. I was hired to work for his retail sales company and was rapidly promoted from service manager to credit manager and finally to sales manager. Charlie, however, was firmly convinced that coal would continue to be the primary source of heating fuel and ignored the rapid conversion to oil that followed the end of the war. I, on the other hand, was convinced that the future of commercial and residential heating systems would ultimately be powered by electricity. The result for the company was the loss of market share and it being placed into receivership in late 1952. Once again, I was unemployed, but I did learn 3 very valuable lessons from that experience. First, never be sure of the success of a project to the extent that it becomes an obsession. Always have a plan B or an exit strategy in case of unexpected failure, and be an active member of your community in order that you are kept informed. I resolved never to work again for any business that I did not own. I had no capital except for my early education and my early life and employment experiences, and a healthy determination to succeed in an entirely different environment from Winnipeg, the west coast of Canada. I went to Vancouver in January 1953 and became a commissioned salesman for a small manufacturer of electrical heating equipment. And after 3 months, persuaded him to give me the distribution rights to his products for Vancouver Island, where he had no representation. And I moved to Victoria 4 months later in April 1953. I knew that the success of my small business would require an understanding of the dynamics of the community in which I had chosen to live. I started by immediately joining the JCs, at that time the Junior Chamber of Commerce, whose members were young entrepreneurs with lots of enthusiasm, ambition, and desire to succeed. Some have remained friends to me to this day. From there, my circle of business acquaintances and connections expanded to include many who contributed their time and talents to the growth of the community by supporting initiatives in education, culture and the arts, health, affordable housing, social assistance, philanthropy, and economic development. Over the years, I've been invited to actively support and sometimes lead organizations committed to each of these initiatives, particularly education, affordable housing, and economic development, which are essential to the success of all of the others. The importance of community building must be obvious to everyone because there are examples all around us. Pearson College, where I served as a board member for 6 years, is an international village of 200 students from many countries with widely varying cultural, ethnic, religious, and economic backgrounds, living together as one community. Royal Roads University is similar with its diversity and global perspective. The last 25 years has seen a substantial increase in the formation of neighborhood community organizations in order that they have a voice at municipal councils and provide input into decisions that affect them. In 1979, with a partner, we developed the 33-acre Summergate Village in Sydney, which Wayne has mentioned tonight, to this afternoon. It consists of 245 homes with its own community center and 7-acre park. The homes were sold for between $59,000 and $100,000, and the village is still a successful and an affordable community. We expected the buyers to be young retirees, but surprisingly, they were predominantly seniors, 75 years of age or greater, many single who felt isolated and lonely, and who sought the opportunity to meet people, make new friends, and join in the activities in the community center. This experience prompted us to rethink the current approach to seniors housing and to design retirement residence with food services and amenities such as bistros, theaters, wellness centers, entertainment, and health care wings, all within one building. While these are for the benefit of resident seniors, the amenities, activities, and entertainment are also shared from time to time with family and friends. The theaters provide a free venue for school choirs, live play productions, and lectures, thereby continuing a connection between our seniors and the community at large. I would like to leave you with a couple of thoughts. Generally speaking, municipal politicians are not community builders. Many of the needs and demand for social change and improvement are generated at the grassroots level, advocated by concerned citizen groups, implemented by many volunteers, and financed by those willing to commit or to raise the necessary funds. The current generation has had remarkable success identifying issues, raising public awareness and funds, and bringing about change and improvement while dealing with multiple levels of government and many municipal and regional politicians. You, the graduates, are an important part of the next generation of community builders. I hope that you have been able to conclude from my experiences that there is a strong link between the success of any business enterprise, regardless of whether you are an owner or executive employee, and your commitment to the support of worthy organizations that are dedicated to the improvement of the quality of life of the community in which you live and work. You, the Royal Roads Faculty of Management 2014 graduates, can make it happen. Congratulations and enjoy a very successful future. Thank you.